What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and for today's WWE news video, we have a lot of shit to talk about, including the latest on when exactly is Paul Heyman coming back to WWE? Is he even ever going to come back to WWE? That is the question we're going to answer today, plus potential new signings to WWE. Wonder who they are. Wonder what that's about. Current updates on Gable Steveson's future in WWE. Is he going to be staying in WWE? That is the ultimate question. And this first one that I'm going to be talking about, because we have some breaking news. About the Rated R superstar Edge's injury. As you guys know, before we even start, if you guys enjoy this video and you guys want more WWE news videos which get posted every Thursday and sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and follow me on all my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. Now let's get straight into it. Obviously you guys know that Edge had formed the Judgment Day alongside Damian Priest this past April at WrestleMania when he battled AJ Styles, and the Judgment Day then expanded a little bit with excuse me, with the emergence of Rhea Ripley, and then Finn Balor ended up joining, and now Dominic Mysterio is in the Judgment Day. Yeah, you heard me right. Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's son, is in the Judgment Day. Do I approve it? No, I honestly don't approve it. This is like some grade A, like, weird bullshit going on. Excuse me. And obviously you guys know that obviously you guys know how Dom ended up joining the Judgment Day, which actually took place at Clash of the Castle when as I'm logging into YouTube here on my laptop, when Dom not only hit Edge with a low blow, but also clotheslined his own father, which is that takes a lot of balls. It takes a lot of massive balls to pull off that bullshit. And then, of course, this past Monday on Raw, Edge accepted Dom's one-on-one match because, well, he wanted to just kick his ass and teach him a little respect, if you will. So unfortunately, Edge has been taken out with an injury at the hands of the Judgment Day, and we can actually confirm because this was confirmed on WWE's The Bump yesterday, that Edge had been diagnosed with grade 2 MCL sprain. Now what that means is that basically the ligament in Edge's MCL has been partially torn. Luckily, no surgery. From what I can gather, from what I can see here, as far as a grade 2 MCL sprain, it usually takes up to about a month for the whole for that whole MCL sprain in the kneecap. It takes about a month to heal. So luckily, from what I can gather, no surgery is required. So he'll be out of action for a minute, um but you guys know that Edge made an impactful return to WWE, making a surprise appearance at SummerSlam late July, just a couple months ago, and I don't even know what to think, honestly. I think honestly, Dom, again, I've talked about it before. Dom joining Judgment Day, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a good thing because then he can truly like flourish as a WWE superstar, and he can also showcase to the world who Dom is, who Dominic Mysterio is without Rey. But on the other hand, Dom has a lot to learn about this business, and the only two people that they can learn from are none other than Edge and his father Rey. So it is unfortunate that Edge has been taken out with an injury. For some reason, many people are saying that he should just retire completely. Honestly, he still has a lot left to do in WWE. He still wants to be world champion, which he even talked about it before, that's the last thing that they wants to do before he can truly hang up the boots. And I don't know. I don't know. I think as hard as it is for me to say, because you guys know I'm a big Edge fan, I think his time is almost up, in my personal opinion. And the reason why I say that is because Edge has done so much for WWE. He won the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. He's won not one but 2 Royal Rumble matches. He's a former multi-time Intercontinental Champion, a former United States Champion, an 11-time World Champion. He went like what? Let's see, if I remember correctly, I actually want to look it up. Let's see. I thought so. I believe Edge is 6-4 at WrestleMania, which is pretty crazy. Which is a pretty cool cool record, honestly. Let's see. WrestleMania 2000, Edge won. 17, Edge won. 18, Edge won. 20, 19 and 20, he was taken out with his neck injury. WrestleMania 21, he took it. 22, he won. 23, he lost. 24, he lost. 25, he lost. 26, he lost. 27, he lost. So I believe that's 6. That's 6-4. That's 6-4 right there. 36 he won, 37 he lost, and 38 he won. So I believe he is 9-5. I believe Edge is 8-5. He's 8-5 at WrestleMania. So let's see. Hold on. Let's think about that for a second. 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, 27, 36, 38. Yeah. So, and then, so that's 8 right there. 23, 24, 25, 26, 37. Yeah. 8-5. He is 8-5 at WrestleMania, which is a pretty good record. For Edge. But I mean, I mean, who knows when Edge will come back? But I don't know. Edge is Edge's body has become very fragile as of late, having to deal with Judgment Day and all of their bullshit. But we do got to move on now to the recent updates on Paul Heyman's WWE return. When exactly is the Wise Man coming back to WWE? So, you guys know that he was taken out by Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which obviously now, without the Wise Man, Roman Reigns is just pretty much vulnerable, So, we know that Clash of the Castle, we saw Roman Reigns do battle with Drew McIntyre over the undisputed Universal title, which ended with obviously Roman Reigns picking up the victory. Excuse me, at the hands of now our new NXT North American Champion Solo Sikoa, and basically he also joined the Bloodline, and apparently Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, big shout out, no copyrights as always, is reporting that he will not be coming back to SmackDown anytime soon. Apparently he claims that WWE won't bring him back to SmackDown until it has a dynamic return. So I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of a weird one, but it would make. But apparently, but ever since SummerSlam, Heyman had been doing had done a couple of voiceovers, not only for NXT Heatwave, which we saw JD McDonagh lose to obviously none other than the NXT champion Braun Breaker, but we also got to see a hell of a card. I have to admit, that was a pretty cool card. But he had also done a voiceover for none other than the next premium live event, Extreme Rules. So we don't really know exactly when he'll come back. But when he does come back, I know for a fact that one of two things is gonna happen. Either A, he's going to help Roman retain his title, or he realigns himself with Brock Lesnar, which I think the more optimal choice probably would have to be help Roman retain his title, because if he does that, then there's no doubt that Roman cannot do it on his own. You know, Clash of the Castle basically proved it. Clash of the Castle proved that Roman Reigns cannot retain his title on his own. You know, so, you know, and if someone showed up, you know, to face Roman, like anybody, like even me, for all we know, for all we know, if I stepped up to Roman and I had him, you know, face me, in Yu-Gi-Oh, even the title can change hands on a disqualification, on a DQ, because of the fact that there'll be what, 2 judges and the WWE official. That's 3 referees. That's 3 people officiating a match, which means nothing would get past those three referees, no matter what. But of course, I'm speaking metaphorically. But if it happened, I mean, you know what? I would probably tell Roman, bring it, bring your best. But that being said, yeah, I think the more optimal choice, the more optimal move definitely would have to be Heyman helping Roman retain his title if he came back. But we do got to move on, because there's been some rumors of people of wrestlers outside of WWE wanting to go to WWE. But the question is, who are they? Who are they? They are none other than AEW stars Nick and Matt Jackson, known as the Young Bucks, and Alan Angels. So I've heard a lot about these guys, and apparently Alan Angels was apparently, from what I'm reading here, was a part of the Dark Order. If you guys know anything about that, you guys can post comments. Apparently, he was known as 5, I believe, or V or something like that. Apparently, there's been rumors that he has interest in working with WWE, and Chris Jericho, who actually was with WWE for a while, brought that up on Jericho on his podcast, Talk Is Jericho. Big shout out, no copyrights. And he brought up that thought of whether or not he had aspirations to be in WWE. He said, so Angels said, quote, he said, quote, "I think about it sometimes. I don't know if I'm their cup of tea right now, but then I also see that they're bringing back some indie guys into the NXT scene. So it's something that I've kind of thought about, but never really seriously considered it. You never know." So according to what I have here, he made his pro wrestling debut back in 2016, and he appeared for AEW back in April of 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, and apparently he was utilized as enhancement talent in matches against Lance Archer, Ray Phoenix, and Kenny Omega. Again, I don't watch AEW. This is just from what I've been reading here. So and of course too, that June, we saw him join joined the Dark Order and became the man known as Five. So I was right, it was Five. His time in AEW came to an end this past June, with him opting to actually turn down a per appearance deal, a pre-appearance deal, to remain with AEW, which, I mean, that's on him. That's on him. But I've heard a lot about this guy. I've heard a lot about this kid. Not a whole lot, but I heard that he's pretty good. But as far as the Young Bucks go, I've heard a lot of things about the Young Bucks. As far as them, coming to, going to WWE, and there's been a lot of rumors that they've threw out some feelers to be with WWE, but according to Ryan Frederick of the Wrestling Observer, big shout out, no copyright. He pointed out that the Young Bucks had their options picked up sometime last year, correcting a fan who claimed that they were signing new contracts with WWE, and he noted that the Young Bucks has sent out feelers to WWE about a possible jump over to them. So let's say they did get signed. The question is, what brands would they go to? Raw, SmackDown, or would they go to NXT? Given the fact that they've got that they've been teaming up together for years now, in AEW, from what I've been hearing, Ring of Honor, Japan, it's a possibility that they could go to Raw for one reason. Two men. Finn Balor, AJ Styles. Right here. Too sweet. So it's a possibility. It's a very high possibility, but apparently Fightful Select, big shout out, no copyrights again as always, provided an update on the rumors that apparently noting that a source indicated that they've been sworn that the Bucks had asked to speak to someone in management, in which unfortunately they were unable to confirm. But apparently these rumors had dated all the way back in August of last month, which these guys are really good. From what I've been hearing, these guys are so good. These guys are very crafty in the ring, and it's a possibility that these guys could come to WWE. But you never know. You never know. As of now, there haven't really been any other updates as far as their debut in WWE goes. But if they do get signed to WWE, it's a matter of who will they go to first? Which brand will they go? Will it be Raw? Will it be SmackDown? Will it be NXT? The possibilities are endless, and we know that obviously Triple H, finally got rid of the whole 2.0 bullshit, which to be fair, 2.0 was pretty good. I mean, we got to see some, we got to see Braun Breaker debut. We've seen a lot of debuts, but but when you look, when you look at it now, you know, and NXT coming, you know, going back to Black and Gold, it's a possibility that the Young Bucks could be in NXT. That is, if you don't run into a man named Grayson Waller who decided to go on Twitter and utter the phrase and post, literally retweet NXT's post of going back to Black and Gold, and he said, quote, "Are we still pretending Black and Gold was good?" Now let me ask you guys this, because we know that NXT 2.0 had been impressive. We all know. We saw Carmelo Hayes become a 2-time NXT North American champion. We saw Braun Breaker become a 2-time NXT champion. We saw the battle, the War Games battle between Team Black and Gold and Team 2.0. But the question is, was Black and Gold good? The answer is yes, because Grayson Waller knows if it wasn't for guys like Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, or Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, guys like Braun Strowman, guys like Bray Wyatt, guys like Adam Cole, baby, this jackass, Grayson Waller, this sack of shit, Grayson Waller would not be in NXT. And he knows it. He just doesn't want to admit it. That's his big problem. It's his ego. His ego has gotten him into so much bullshit. Guys like AJ Styles, guys like Apollo Crews have came into NXT and whooped his ass. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So, yes, Black and Gold was good. And I think with Black and Gold coming back, it's going to be even better. It's going to be even better. I've got, no doubt about that in my mind. But going back with, to the whole fiasco with the Young Bucks, I could definitely see the Young Bucks coming to WWE because of AJ Styles and Finn Balor, because the Bucks had aligned themselves with both AJ and Finn from their days in Japan. So I've got no doubt that they will be in WWE. It's a matter of when, honestly. But we do have to shift gears to this next one. The update on Gable Steveson's future in WWE, or I guess rather his progress, if you will. And he had made and apparently Dave Meltzer, I guess Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, I guess made an appearance on Sunday night's main event, which I guess is WWE's which is like WWE's house show, if you will, and apparently, I guess Steveson was on the show, was on the card. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the hell, but I guess Meltzer decided to document Steveson's stumbling WWE career, if you will, which have fell behind schedule apparently. But we know that Gable was had appeared at WrestleMania, taking out Otis and Chad Gable of the Alpha Academy, and aligning himself with the Street Profits, and there were rumors that there were rumors that he was supposed to have had an in-ring debut at WrestleMania, but that did not come to pass. And apparently WWE intended to fast track Gable to, into the main event scene, but fortunately that did not come to pass, as he is currently training under a former WWE superstar, Ken Anderson. And you guys are wondering, Ken Anderson, who the fuck is that? Well, if you guys watched WWE from back in the days of like 2006, 2007, then you might remember him as Mr. Kennedy. Yeah, Ken Anderson was Mr. Kennedy, and he ended up changing his name when he went to TNA as Mr. Anderson. And so, and apparently there's been talks of him going back to college for another season of NCAA wrestling, which, even though he retired from the amateur circuit back in May, he could go back, which I don't think that's wise. I don't think that's wise, because if he did go back to the NCAA scene, it would be all for naught, and WWE would end up just relieving him of his contract. But to be fit, but obviously we know that Brock Lesnar, went to the same university as Gable did, recently, which is obviously the University of Minnesota, and apparently WWE were attempting to prepare him for the transition into sports entertainment, but there's really nothing going on. There's nothing planned for Gable. We know that he got drafted to Raw, to the Raw roster in October of last year, and they planned to have him make sporadic appearances on Raw, which built him up which gave him a build up throughout the whole year, and now his career in WWE has now become a mystery. Despite having signed his contract with WWE back in August of last year, obviously again he hasn't showed up since WrestleMania's since WrestleMania Sunday back in April. So we don't really know. We don't know if Gable is ever gonna work with WWE completely, but I can tell you one thing right now: Gable is and it's a big if, because we don't know when he'll show up, to Raw. But if he does show up, I can guarantee you that he is going to become a big threat to Roman's run as undisputed Universal Champion. He could be a threat to Bobby Lashley's run as U.S. Champion, which is a possibility. He could go after those titles, but that is all entirely up to him. But we don't know exactly when he'll come back, but when he'll be making his debut in the ring. But when he does, it's gonna be an interesting match, to say the very least. But that brings me to the question of the day: should the Young Bucks sign with WWE? Let me know down in the comments below, and that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE news videos, which get posted every Thursday, sometimes on weekends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And as always, make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.